Yo, what is up guys? I'm here hitting up with a new video. Welcome to the ultimate beginner's guide to Etheria restart. So I know a lot of you guys might start the game today now. You want to know how this game works, how it functions, and there might be a lot of returning player. So you guys want to know what it's all about, what you need to do, and I will dissect every single thing you need to know about this game right now in terms of what you want to do just to kick things off and to have a good start. And hey, in case you're new, subscribe. I basically upload every single day. Once we get into this game and you've done all your introduction to this game and you basically have access to this room, right? You will get in here and you will also have access to your summoning pool. So this is what you will have access to: Yale and the Plume. Maybe Kokari and the Aya is also accessible tomorrow. I don't know yet. We gotta wait and see that. But the first thing you want to make sure is that you go here to the other part, and then there's the redeem code section. Activate all the active codes that are available for you right now. Check out Pritwin, stuff like that. As we got a new code, I will also link new codes in the comments down below, so check them out as well, so you know what you can use, because there will be a lot of goodies in there as well. How do we want to structure this? Let's kick things off with the summon pool in case you want to re-roll or don't re-roll, right? So here's what I want to show you. I made a master guide to Etheria restart on my spreadsheet here, which I worked on. This will also be linked in the description down below, so check it out as well. There are many different segments. I have the early progression, resources, modules, grim pursuit, threshold, everything you need to know about the game right now. Is very beginner friendly overall. So how does this look like now? Basically, now with the LD selector that you're getting in this game, make sure you pick up the Lily in here. Unless you already get her from your summons, then don't. But the ideal way I can recommend you, if you're trying to reroll, try to reroll for Plume. Okay, Plume or Lilium or something like that, or even Messiah, some of these units, right? So not necessarily the Zanya, but try to get the Plume, okay, from your pulls, and then pick up the Lily from your selector, and you're already good to go, right? So this is what you want to do, and there are a lot of different things you need to know about this game. Okay, so go check this one out as well. So this one helps out with all the early progression, what you want to do and stuff like that. So you want to use that and summon here and try to get a couple of decent SSR to kick things off. And you will also, I don't have them right now available to me, but you also have a targeted banner. Okay, so like a 40 pull targeted banner where you can select any SSR non-LD, and after 40 pulls it guarantees you a specific SSR unit. I recommend to not use that right now. This is something you use very late, okay, after maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or even a month, to see what you're truly missing and try to get that. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, before we jump off into the other section, we want also, because there are probably a lot of spenders, let's take a look at the shop as well. When it comes to the value sections here, there are a lot of packs. I don't know what packs will be available to you guys, but overall, the one that probably worth the most is general. Every pack that has a perfect lattice in it, okay? The level packs will be really good, and also every pack with a lattice, those are the most beneficial. But at the end of the day, buy whatever you want. But I can tell you from experience that the lattice is the one you want the absolute most, okay? The other packs is like whatever. Yeah, if you're starting out the game, this one helps you out to get your units to 6-star faster, right? I wouldn't buy these packs, those are scams. Do not buy any of these. This one you can consider at some point in time. You don't necessarily need it right now, right? And don't buy these, they're not that good, okay? Rather go into the value section and look what you want to pick up from here. Then you have the double time reward from the gems pack, so the standard gems. Get your monthly supply card because you get more coin in this game and a higher stamina cap. Very important, get that. Because this helps you out a lot and you need it. Then we can have the Union Shop. The Union Shop is the guild system in this game. So when you start the game, make sure to join a guild as soon as possible and start grinding on the Union boss together, because you get a lot of coins and you get a lot of good stuff here, right? So this is what you need to 6-star your units. This is what you need for your SR units to skill them up. more stuff to get them to 5-star, couple pulls, all the goodies, and then here perfect lettuce shards. If you get 50 of those, you can craft a perfect lettuce, which you need to scale up one of your SSR units. And then we got the summon shop. This is something you want to look at once you did a lot of pulls. I can recommend you always get the perfect lettuce here. Everything else, you have to decide for yourself. I wouldn't pick up because I'm always stingy with it, so I only pick up the perfect lettuce every 2 weeks. Then we have the arena shop here. So for the arena, that's the PvP mode. That might not be interesting for you right off the bat, but you still want to do your PvP nonetheless because you want to get these tokens, okay? And there's another perfect lettuce in there. So make sure to do your PvP. It doesn't matter if you lose, really. Just make it, just do it so you can get that weekly perfect lettuce. Then we have a new shop, the Stellar shop. This is specifically now for the RTA. It's probably not interesting for you right now because this is going to be tough, but just to let you know, this is the new RTA shop where you can buy skins and stuff like that, free to play. And then we have the Animus shop. This is where you can get dupes. So that you understand it, very important here is if you, for example, do not own one of these units you hear, that does not mean, oh, if I have the 5,000 tickets now, that I get that unit. No, you have to own the unit and then you can get a dupe. If you, let's say, this Hell Kit Anima ticket, for example, if you do not own a Hell Kit and you buy that ticket, then you still don't have Hell Kit, okay? You have to get Hell Kit first, and then you get a dupe for Hell Kit in that regard. So that is understandable. And then here's also an SR Animus section where you can purchase dupes for SR units. I don't think you really need it, especially in the beginning. You summon a lot. They fill up from themselves, and the SR units are really, really good. Do not underestimate them. Now, we also have to take a look at the module shop here. This is also new because they changed a lot of things here, how it works and what you want to look for. So the one thing I can recommend you, if you are buying module essences, the one piece you want to focus on, okay, are damaging pieces. So the ones you want to look at, if we look at the archive real quick and we look at matrices, is the Fury Edge one, okay? This specific piece here, this is one because when you later down the line you can farm Inferno, you can get crit rate 12% and crit damage 20%. The other ones you want to look at when you start out the game is Keen Eye from the module essence shop. This is your damaging set. It increases your crit damage if you have a +6 effect, and a +12 gives you for every free instance increases the damage 25%, 15% and 5%. So it lowers for every hit, so it gets weaker if you're using multi-hitters. Then you have the momentum piece on a 6-piece effect, gives you a crit rate +12%, and on a 12+12 effect, for every debuff on the enemy, it increases your damage by 6%. So this ramps up quite a bit. Very, very strong overall. Okay, so keep that in mind. Go for more damaging sets and try to find more importantly perfect sets, crit damage with attacking substats or crit rate with also attacking substats. This is what you want to look for. Okay, now when you start the game, really, you jump right in and you do your main quest here, you do all the stuff here, do all the challenges, pick up all your goodies, and basically there is no way to play it smart or to think you're smarter than the game. The way you want to approach this game is actually fairly simple. So first and foremost is, at the very beginning, you will get a lot of summons, okay? You will get a lot of summons, you will get a lot of gems. Use your summons to summon, and the gems, what you want to do is, you can max out your stamina, okay? You have stamina, and this one you can spend 960 gems a day to get 1000 extra stamina, okay? This is what you want to do. You want to have a max refill. This is limited to 10 refills per day, but this is how you progress the fastest. These ones, the stamina packs, we are usually saving for a so-called 2x event, the Blessing Galore, where the other dungeons we have in this game just have double drop rates, okay? Probably for you guys this is already active for the entire month, but we will discuss this in a minute. The way you want to start really the game is from the Hyperlink Charter. This is basically where you want to go, because if we go when you do your main quest, right, and then at some point it says you can't proceed because your level is not high enough, the game will level cap you at some point, okay? When that happens is you want to go to the Hyperlink Charter. This is this section here, because in the Hyperlink Charter there are actually a lot of goodies. Now let's take a look here, for example, at the first one, the Commission Chronicles. For example, if we click at Novice here, it says Animus training, use 1 upgrade experience item. Boom, you do that, and those are the missions. Okay, you want to focus and do all these missions here. Okay, focus them, because there are a lot of good things here. So as further you get in this one, let's see, so the more stuff you are getting, and this goes on and on and on. Okay, and there are actually quite a lot of drops here, and also very good drops as well, because this is what you need for resources. Like your resource at the very beginning, you want to have that. And here, if you can see, when you complete phase 11 to receive rewards, when you completed that, you get extra perfect lattices here, and you want all the lattices you can get, because those are very important for your 6-star, for your SSR units in this game. So make sure to check all these out and basically look at them and see like, oh, can I complete this? Did I do that? Did I not do that? Work on that. Now that I have that tab open right now, I'm not sure if they still have it the same way as they did in for us during launch, but you get the lay-in for free at the beginning. You want to put your lattices in the beginning into your lay-in, because you need to, I think, at least put like 2 lattices or 3 lattices, I can't remember, into the lay-in right now, because you want to finish your missions, because you do get SSR lattices in here. So keep that in mind. So you need to 6-star her. You have to 6-star her, and you have to give her at least, I think, 2 lattices in total. And after you are done with Fate 1 and Fate 2, if I remember correctly, or if it's just Fate 1, I think it's actually only Fate 1. It's not even Fate 2. Fate 2 doesn't matter at this point anymore. But once you completed all this, then you can reset Liam, because nobody uses her. She's not that great. But once you did that, you can now reset her, get all the lattices back you invested on her, and then put it on a different unit. So these ones, right? So you can put that in SSR units you actually play and use. So this is where you wanna you wanna orientate yourself with this Hyperlink Charter. Okay, now once you did that, we also want to look, I think, at the Grim Pursuit. So this game has a unique system which is called the shell system, which are consistent of these little shells which can be equipped to any of your characters. And starting with Nikonana, this is where you have the Inferno difficulty, okay, and then you get all these red shells. Before Nikonana, so till Whitney, you do not have the Inferno difficulty here. You only have like Nightmare or Hell. And you see there are no red shells. So what you want to do here at the very beginning is once you get in here, you don't really need anything in particular. Just do it and get a shell equipped, really. And what you want to do is to kick things off is, if I remember correctly, was it Fabien? Okay, so when you're here at Fabien, Phoebe and Fabien, that's what their name is. You want to get like a Twilight Knight, and you want to get a Black Flag, because those are actually, and also the Diamond Hut is also, those 3 shells are actually not that bad at the beginning. You want to get them to like level 20, don't get them higher than that, because your training data is fairly limited. And the true shell farming part begins once you reach this point here, the entry level with the Nikonana. And here already on the Nightmare difficulty, you see there are red drops already, and the higher you go, the better they become. But Inferno is actually where it's at, because this is where free matrices drop. Let's take a look and explain how this works. Now, if we like look at these shells, for example, once you reach the Inferno difficulty, you are getting free matrices. So what we're looking at here, Swift Rush, Keen Eye, Swift Raid, those are free matrices, okay? Free. Now, if you look, for example, at this one here, you see this is only 2. So only, and we're up to a Hell difficulty, you will only get 2 matrices drop, okay? The third one will not unlock. This is not. You have to farm Inferno, and Inferno you will get these shells that have a third slot, and that third slot is, for example, Fury Edge, Swift Raid, or whatever, okay? You can also look at the archive. When we're looking at the shells, for example, you can click on a shell, and then that shell will actually show you. I know the camera is just blocking right now, but you can see it right here, right? It shows you all the possibilities it can drop. Now, since we discussed that, why are shells actually important? If we look at the shell, for example, because I want to keep it concise and into specific parts here, is a shell. If we look at the stats, maybe I think I have to look at a character here to show you what a shell actually does. Okay, so here's a shell, for example, right? I geared up. Now, this is level 40 awakened, a level 40 awakened shell that has stats. It gives you stats for your characters, and these shells are all different. Some have more attack, some have more defense, depending on their role. This one has, for example, a lot of defense, a little bit low on the HP side and very low on the attack side. And every shell, once it is a free matrix shell from the Inferno dungeon, has awakened plus 40 speed. It has 40 speed you get for your character. Okay, this is what you get there. If it does not have free matrices but only 2, then 35 speed is the limit here. So you will actually notice that the majority of your speed on your units is coming from the shells, because also you can see here I have like 17 speed on this one, for example. Then there's HP here, because all your shells also have passive abilities. We can click on this passive effect feature here, and then we can see there are actually certain abilities which are locked to a specific slot. So if we look at slot 1 is all about basic stats, so attack, defense, and HP, either flat or percentage based. So you know, in this game, percentage, you always want to roll percentage based, because percentage, it gives you way more stats than flat based stats. Okay, always prioritize percentages over flat based. Now there's slot 2. Slot 2 is a little bit different. There are more unique effects. You have crit rate, you have crit damage, you have speed, okay? And those are varying from the colors here, as you can see. Then healing done, shield provided, effect, accuracy, and effect resistance. But primarily the 3 things you want to focus on in general is either crit rate, crit damage, or speed. The other ones really don't matter that much. Nobody really looks at these that much. It's like very, very gimmicky. These 3 overall matter the most. And then we have slot 3 as well. So we have 1 that is just a final damage up for every single unit you can have that on. That's the assault one. Then we have Dauntless, which is a final damage taken. So you get reduced damage. And then this is basically what it goes to. And then there's a specific color one. So units that are hollow units, green units, that get final damage specifically 10 to 12% if we compare that to assault. So assault is universal, works on every color, has only up to 8%, but if you go into the specifics, then you can actually get up to 12%. Okay, so, and here, for example, the inside one is very good, but that is for PvP later down the line, because it gives you resistance and accuracy at the same time, which helps you for your debuffers. But this is something for a later video. I'm not gonna wanna confuse you with everything, but this is 2 shells, and you equip the units, the shells to your units. The way you level up your shells is, for example, you want to level up a shell. There's, for example, I have this count shell here. I want to upgrade it, so I click go to upgrade right here, and then I have these training data. Okay, these training data you need to upgrade, and then you press the upgrade button, and I'll do that now. For example, once you reach 10, now you need a upgrade piece. So you click on this one, and then you need one of your shells. Maybe I have a weak one, which I can just throw away. Okay, I can throw away this one, for example. And then I click ascend, and now I ascended the shell, and it's now 2-star. And now I can go up to level 20, and then I repeat the process. But the next time I need 2 shells, then you need 3 shells, and then in the last phase you need 4 shells, and that all the way up to level 40. This will cost a lot. You need millions and millions of these training data. So make sure to save up, because you want to use them on your red ones. And then also, this is something we need to mention as well, or I need to mention as well. There's the reconfigure option, which allows you to re-roll your substats. Okay, for example, I want to re-roll, for example, this substat right here. Okay, so I press this button here, reconfig, and then I can roll and see, is it better than the one I currently have? No, it's not. And then what you need for that is the training data, and you need reconfig chips. Okay, those are also very scarce. This is the stuff you need to get the passes, but that is for later down the line. So now that we, I think, discussed primarily the shells for this game, and your White Fang will be your entry damaging shell. Then we have Artisan, this will your primary protection shell at the beginning, because it gives you a lot of survivability, especially when you dungeon farm. We will come to that in a second. But yeah, just giving you an overall view on how shells function in this game. Now let's take a look, for example, at the characters overall in this game. So how does this work? How do you upgrade a character? So you have the details here, you have the stats and everything, right? And then when you go to modules, this is where you can equip modules. And I want to cover modules and units at the same time. So how does this system work? So if we look, for example, here, this one is the Keen Eye set effect, which I showed you earlier, right, with the crit damage. Now it says 6 and 12, right? It says 6-piece effect and a 12-piece effect. Now if we equip this, nothing happens. This set effect is not active. But how you activate this effect is by looking at this number here. So the icons here indicate how many pieces you need to activate that effect, right? So what we can do here is I can look, for example, for a different Keen Eye piece here. For example, let me just pick up whatever at this point, it doesn't matter. But if I pick up this one now, we have now here 2 Keen Eye pieces with three icons on them. And now if we look at it, Keen Eye effect is active. Now you have plus 18% crit damage activated because you have 3 icons. At the beginning you will have like 1 icon or 2 icons, so 3 icons will come later when you can farm health free in threshold. But just giving you a rough understanding on how this works. So for 12 matrices you need 3, okay, you need 3 of those matrices. And then you need to combine that with a shell, for example. So if we use one of the counts, for example, this one here, right? So this one you can see, and this is where the matrices come in. So you have here Keen Eye, Fury, Swift Rate, but we are focusing on a quick Keen Eye right now. So this is where you, for example, equip this one to your character, right? Now you have 3 that puts us at 6, plus the shell 3 that puts us at 9. And as you can see here, it says plus 9. It shows you how many you currently have equipped. Now, if we equip one more Keen Eye, then we actually get the effect of, and now it is plus 12, and now we get all the effects. So we don't only get the crit damage, but we also get the first 3 instances of damage dealt by an Animus increases the damage. So this is how it works. So you can do like 12-12 sets. You can also do 12-8-6 sets. Okay, so this is how this game is structured. You either do 12-12 or 12-8-6 set effects. Keep that in mind. For example, you can see it here. There's Fury. This has an 8 set effect, and then Swift Rate has a 6 set effect, to give you a rough understanding of how this works. Now if we look at the prowess system is the way where you skill up your units, and when you dupe the units. Let's take a look at dupes first. So when you have your character, right, so you click in the middle here, and if you pulled more than one, you will have here cards. Let me turn off the camera real quick. So you will have here cards. It indicates, now, for example, if you have Budoki pulled, it says you 1-1 or 2-1 depending, and then you can put dupes into these characters. Now the interesting part is, the good thing about this game is dupes don't really matter that much compared to other games, or are not as OP as in other games, usually, which are quite broken in. But here is just a little bit of stat increases, so this is fine. But this is where you can dupe your character. Now if we also look at this, we have skill 1, skill 2, skill 3. Now this game is a little bit horrendous when it comes to certain things, and most of the time there is extra speed, which is locked behind the skill 1. So you need to skill up the skill 1 of a unit to get extra speed. So once you get this up to level 4, you can unlock up to this field here, okay, to this speed plus 10. And as you can see here, wait, there is stuff equipped right now, extra stat, but basically I'm getting plus 15 extra speed here on the right side, because I have this skill here unlocked, which gives her extra speed. Okay, keep that in mind. So if we look at all these skills, this one, for example, gives resistance, and the skill 3 gives, for example, HP. Now, how does this work is you need here these materials. Those are called the anime imprint, the GP prowess. That is what it is. So here you can see you need these perfect lattices. When you have these perfect lattices, then you can upgrade a skill and unlock the next field and make your Animuses more powerful. This is very important because you also the resource is very scarce. You have to make the right decision what you want to skill up, and I tell you there are only like two support units you want to skill up at the beginning, and then later down, and also you want to skill up your DPS units. Now let's put the camera back on. So this is for how characters are geared and stuff like that, and how it functions. Now that we got this out of the way and we discussed this one, the next up we have the threshold. So the threshold is where you farm your gear. So we have Teramaton, where you can get Keen Eye, where you can get Onslaught, which gives you flat attack, HP, then Battle Will, that if you have it active you have a 20% chance to follow up attack, stuff like that. So you will start off here, and you probably will maybe get like to hard 1 on day 1. I don't think you will get higher than that, but as you can see there's only like 2 icons here, so you need more of these icons to actually get the set effects. By the way, do not level them up to the max. So for these ones here we stop at +6. Do not level up higher than +6 because it's nonsensical here, because it's very expensive, and the coin is very lacking at the beginning. It's very hard, it's very scarce, and you need all the coins you can get because you need everything. Okay, so don't upgrade your models higher than +6 because it's actually not that worth it, because the majority of the stuff comes really from a combination of having the modules and having the shell. Okay, so this is where your damage comes, and you can't just raw dog your way just with +15 here and then you think you can farm everything up here. No, this does not work because there's also synergy involved. So this is Teramaton. Is something where you get your Keen Eye pieces, and later when you can farm Inferno, but that's for a later time, where you can get these Inferno pieces. Okay, those are locked behind the Inferno dungeon. So your goal will be to get into Hell Free first, because once you reach Hell Free, you unlock these free icon metric or free matrices. Okay, and this is where you can really get your like sets together. Then we have Doki Doki. This is where you farm your speed gear. So there's the Swift Rush effect. So if you have the +12 effect, you get a total of 35% extra speed. So this is your speed dungeon, which has 2 waves. And then last but not least, we have Aurora, which is also difficult, where you have like your gimmicky set effects. You have damage, you have your Bulwark, which is where your immunity, where you start off with the immunity set. Then you have the Bloodbath set, which is for bruisers. Strife, when you get hit you get pushed for 10% turn meter, stuff like that, all that extra stuff you are getting here. Okay, so this is where you farm your modules. Then the GP outpost, this is the place where you farm these materials to actually skill up your units, where you unlock the skill ups and stuff like this. This is where you want to get it. Now with the 2x it's also worth it. And then we also have the investigation. This is where you get your books here to level up your characters, because you need to get your characters to max level. You want to get them to level 60, right? So this here, you don't want to waste too much stamina at the beginning here in these lower ranks, because it's really not that worth it. The drop is so bad and you need way too much. Wait till you can actually get up to here if you really need. So and you feel like, oh, I need to farm a little bit of these books right now to level up my characters. But also just keep in mind, this is something you might want to not farm too much. Okay, then we have the Anything Echoes. I don't think this is that interesting for you right off the bat. Maybe the first steps, but I think this actually gets really tough early on, so I don't recommend that doing early on, because this one has time. You get resource here, there are perfect lattices in here and stuff like that, but I don't think you need to rush this anyways, because this is something that does not reset. They add more stages over time, and you will naturally get there and try how far you can push it. Then you have the Daily Phantom Theater. Just do it, you get a little bit of extra stuff. It's nothing too special. And then you have the Ammo Track. This is your tower mode. Okay, this is the standard tower mode, you know, from other games. Just try to get as far as you can over time. This is an ongoing process. You do that, you can't continue there. Let me try this one, you try there and see how far you can get there. And this is an ongoing process process. Then we have a unique mode, this is the Ethernet rally, where you can go in and then do stuff. I don't recommend doing that early on anyways, because you need many different colors to actually do this mode. It's not really particularly difficult, but for starters this is gonna be rough because you do not have the units to back this mode up, right? Over time it will get easier, but for the start just ignore it, Then you have your events. This is probably not the stuff that is up for you, but this rotates anyways. This weekly events that rotate. Okay, so this is for the entire daily challenge, trial challenge, and limited event. Then you have your union, which I just mentioned. Go in here, do your union boss, stuff like that. This is where you get the goodies, where you get these coins, right, when you're in a guild. And then there's also the United Front. This is the PvP, where there's like a tower mode, and then you can battle each other's guild and you have to destroy these towers. Okay, but I don't want to go into specific here, otherwise this video will be too long. Now then, also what we need to talk about is the achievement tab as well. So in the achievement tab, you also will go in here. There will be a lot of goodies you get here as well, right? So pick everything up during the time you play this game. And then also what we need to talk about is the arena realm. This is what I also mentioned earlier. So this is the EVE arena. In the EVE arena, you want to go in, and then you go in. This is the you play against AI. People set up the defenses and then you attack the defenses. Okay, this is what you want to do here, and this is what I said, because once you get many points there, you get your weekly perfect legacy, and there's a leaderboard. It's like whatever right now, but just do it so you actually get something out of it. If it is your favorite content, go push it, but at the beginning it's like whatever, you just want to get that perfect letters from the shop. Then we have the Summit Arena. The Summit Arena is the RTA mode of this game. This is the PvP focus, where it's player versus player. You go in, there's a draft. This will be a separate video at some point. Also guys, if you're still watching this, if you want to see more videos to that, make sure to like this video. If we can get to 100 likes, at least I can make a follow-up. Let me know also in the comments down below what you want to see next in terms of how to help you to start your journey. But it's your RTA, where you draft and stuff like that and play. And then there's on the weekends we have the Fearless Arena. We go in, there's like a tournament based mode. This is currently closed right now, but it's tournament based and everybody can play in just a fun mode. There's no leaderboard, stuff like that, and you get a lot of goodies. And there's also that PvP. The cool thing is gear is split between PvP and PVE. That's cool. So now you can, whatever you farm in the PVE, you have a separate tab for PvP, which is cool. It's split up, and that is also nice. Now, to give you also a rough understanding of what you want to focus on in the beginning, is in terms of units you should use to your advantage when you start off this game. So Valerian is a classic unit that helps you a lot in the early game, because she does everything for you. She protects you, she gives you heal, because SR units are easier to skill up. Okay, they are easier to skill up because they do not require SSR lattices, only purple lattices. In this unit you want to get her skill free to level 5 immediately, because she gives attack buff to your units, she gives you shield, she protects you, she does all the good stuff for you at the beginning. Okay, she's your protector basically. Then we have other units. The Viper's also a good unit, maybe not necessarily very early on, but he's kind of relevant for the Aurora farming, because he can strip with it. But I feel like if you get the plume, then I think you can just ignore him. Then a very important unit, I need to mention this, get this boy here, Didding, and max him out immediately. Okay, you don't need to get to level 5 for this skill 1, but get him to level 4. So you want to max out his passive skill and you want to max out his first skill. This guy is the Harry Potter of the early, the mid, the late, and the end game in PvE, because he hits damn hard and he's super easy to build. The cool thing about him is he gets like that marker on a target, and he increases his crit rate, okay, by 60%, which is quite a lot, especially in the early game where you do not have that many stats. And every crit rate stat that goes over 100%, he converts automatically to crit damage. Okay, so it's easy to build him, and he's super damn strong. He will be your majority farmer for almost everything. Okay, go build him up because he's super easy to build. Next up, is there any other unit I want to specifically mention? Gray is also a great option because he has a crit rate buff on his skill 2, then he gets an extra turn to land a defense break. Also quite interesting to look at, but also another unit I would recommend looking at from a SR perspective for the early game is Kachi the Goat. Could be an example because he gives you a 2-turn defense buff and immunity as well. And this guy as well, he will be not super early on, that important, maybe a little bit later when you do your Doki Doki farm, but he has attack down, defense down, and he can stun, and this skill is on a 3-turn cooldown, so keep that in mind. Kazuyo the Reverie, very strong unit, which helps you also with CC. Can CC, sleep the enemies and stuff like that. It helps you a lot in your early game. And then there's also Zanya, which is a healer in this game. Probably you don't want to focus too much on her, but you can add her with the Ling Lao you get for free in the game to really push your account for survivability if you need it. So do not neglect these options. Now when it comes to the SSR side of things, as I mentioned earlier, you want to reroll, or not necessarily reroll, but you want to pick Lily up for your selector, get immediately skill 1 to level 5. I would also recommend, you know what, gets skill 2 also to level 5. Helps you out a lot. I would even go as far, but this is optional at this point, I would go even as far as to say, you know what, might as well, you also want to max max out skill 3 as well, because all your DPS units you cannot max out day 1. And what this skill does, if you max it out, if you have a 4-turn cooldown on a unit or upwards, if you use the S3, which has the twin trick buff already on your, let's say, DPS, she can completely skill reset your unit, and then they can use the S3 again. So this could be an interesting option for you. Then the plume is, if you have Lily and if you have Plume, it's basically GG. You unlocked easy mode, more or less. Okay, very great unit. She can strip, land debuff. She makes your life easier. Just if you get her, give her lattices, give her skill ups into the S3 and into the S2. This is where you want to focus more on these two things. The S1 is not as important in the beginning for you, unless you need the extra speed. Then a very important unit, also a support unit in my opinion, is the Freya. The Freya is very strong. Also in the early game, she literally does everything. Okay, she gives you an attack buff, she lands a debuff that the enemies take more damage, she gives you a defense buff, she gives you a unique buff that can purify debuff, stuff like that. And then she has like a passive effect which pushes your team turn meter and pushes back the enemy turn meter. So very solid unit overall. The other units which are solid you might want to look into is either the Plume, the Delirium, which is not necessarily that important in the very early beginning. Focus more on the Didding right now, because the Didding is basically what Liliums do. They basically almost equal in terms of power level in the PVE content, and also Didding, and to a certain degree hits harder sometimes. And then other units you might want to look at is this boy here, Batsby. I call him Gatsby or Godspeed. This guy is very strong. If you put lattices into him, he can carry you crazy, and you can, with him, you can start very early to even farm Aurora. If you can get Lily and you can get Plume and him together, these three units, then you will have a nice time in Aurora, because he just increases, like, because the way he functions increases damage against red units, and you can actually dish out quite some damage early on, even though you don't have the craziest DPS, just because of his effect. Okay, utilize that to your advantage. Yeah, so those are the tips I can give you for the start of this game. I don't know if I missed something. I hope not. If I missed something, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, this is the early ultimate beginner starter guide for Etheria restart. Let me know what you think, what you want to see next. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it, and see you with the next one. Deuces.